And our next interview is with John Shehata with Advanced Internet. John, your top tips for e-commerce websites, your thoughts on e-commerce and what they can do to help improve their websites and their rankings.
Sure thing. So there are a lot of tips out there, but the first one is your SEO 101, Make sure you do your in-house cleaning, optimize your page titles, write a good copy, do all the SEO 101. It's very important before you start doing anything else. Second tip is when you write your product description, write a good description, a useful description. Don't try to go fancy or write in big words. Write what the product actually does for the user. Most of the users, when they search for a need. So write, okay, this product does this for you, and most of the users will be searching on these specific terms. The third tip I can give is most of the users, when they search by reviews. They search by your product reviews or they search by brand reviews. Don't let them go to external sites to find these reviews. Create a reviews page, right? It could be a user-generated content where users actually submit reviews on your product. Don't filter out the bad ones, keep it fair so people trust you and they see you as a credible. Or you can take snippets from other review sites out there and link back to these positive review sites. This can also help them rank higher, so when users search for reviews of your product, these positive review sites will rank high on the search as well. And the fourth step I can say is when you want to go viral, it's very hard for a commercial site to get digs or Reddits or stumble upon, so you need to find other tactics, and it's all about content. Try to help the user to find what's useful about your product. Talk about 11 most important steps, the 11 most important things to inspect before buying product, for example, right? Write something about this. Users are interested in this. If you, for example, have an auto parts site, right? Do a contest, right? For best design, or ask users to submit photos of your products and their cars. This keeps the users motivated. You create a community, which is the most important thing, and users then will submit and Reddit and dig all these content pages.
Excellent, excellent. Now, quickly, let's switch to a completely different topic.
Sure.
Let's talk about news, because that's your specialty,
Yes.
and news optimization. You gave an excellent presentation at SES over here. Some tips really for somebody who's looking to add a news section to their sites. Some of your kind of top advice to them.
Sure. So I work for Advanced Internet, which is the internet division of Advanced Publications, and probably our sister company, Condé Nast. So before you start news, right, make sure that you read the Google News submission guidelines. Okay, there are certain rules that you need to have in your site first before you submit your site. If you submit your site or in your news section before you read these rules, you may delay your submission. So, for example, you need unique content, you need multiple authors, you need phone numbers and contact information about your site, and so on. This is one part. The other part is the technical part. Make sure every news story has its own permanent URL, extremely important. Also, optimize your headlines, right? Don't be funny, don't be vague. Try to be descriptive and to the point, because users don't have the time to decrypt headlines. They want to look at the headline and then they want to decide, okay, I want to read that story or I don't want to read that story. It all depends on the headline, and most users get their headlines on their RSS feeds or anywhere external away from your site. So if your headline doesn't tell them what the story is about, very unlikely that they will click your headline to go to see that story. Optimize your story as if you're doing a regular SEO 101. Make sure your keywords on your story, your lead paragraph is extremely important, and write good content.
Excellent, excellent. Now, I like something that you said about the headline selling the story versus telling the story. That's something from your presentation. I love that.
Yes, sure. So in traditional newspapers, right, print, the headline is always there to sell the story. When we talk about optimized headlines or web headlines, it's not about to sell the story, it's about to tell the story. And this is the difference between traditional print headlines and online optimized headlines. Your headline must tell the story. And it's you can keep it interesting. For example, let me give you an example. Let's say the Federal Reserve Bank increased the interest rate. You don't need to say by how much, but you can say they increased the interest rate, and then the user will click and read the rest of the information. So there is no trade-off between being descriptive and interesting at the same time.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you very much. That was very, very valuable. Now, how can our readership find you?
Okay, you can check my blog. It's John Shehata, Shehata. You can search for me in Google. The first 10 listings on the SERP are all mine, so
Awesome.
you can find me there.
How about Twitter?
I'm there also, John _ my last name, Shehata, Shehata.
Awesome. I will put the link to it also on our blog. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.